everyone, it is Dave. Welcome in. It is time to talk about modules 3 and 4. Module 3 covers the other major formal elements. We've already talked about space. Now we're going to be talking about line and color theory. In Module 4, we talk about Vincent van Gogh. We spent an entire lecture just on his life, and we learned so much about him. And then we also cover pattern and texture as the formal elements for that week. We do have a discussion board that you do want to take a look at early because it does require you to make a very basic two-dimensional drawing. And also our quiz for the two modules is found in Module 4. So with that, let me take you over to the Canvas site. I'll show you where everything is laid out and I'll walk you through the projects. All right, here we are on the Canvas site. We've got modules 3 and 4 available. We're going to head into module 3 first. Up top, we have the usual suspects. We've got our video that you're watching right now. It does cover modules 3 and 4. We've got our introduction, which is, again, a summary of what our plans are for this specific week, some objectives, and then also the assessments that are due. So we're going to post to the discussion board this week and also complete journal entry number 3. We do have 2 lectures. The first one is about line. We've got our study guide, and in the further exploration video, there's just actually one video, and then we have our reading as well located here. In our next lecture, it's going to be color theory. Now, color theory is the most technical of all lectures we have during the first half of the course. So there are a lot of terms, a lot of definitions, but we kind of already know many of them. So just don't worry when you see a really extensive study guide here. The further exploration section is really quite simple, just some readings. And also we have the museum scene from Ferris Bueller's Day Off, which showcases the technique of pointillism. Following that, I'm going to jump down to the journal entry, which has you creating your own color wheel. We talk a lot about the color wheel and its uses in the color theory lecture. So what you're going to do is kind of follow along with this video. Make a circle, cut it into 12 individual slices, and then color in the specific color. So I had you get some colored pencils early on in the semester. Some of the colors here, the colored pencils don't come in. So for instance, like yellow-green here, you would literally shade one time with yellow and the other time with green in order to create this. I've also got our color wheel below here, again, just as reference. But you don't have to do the real fancy circle with, the blank on the inside. Just go ahead and do a normal pizza type of image with the wedges right to the center. For our project this week, I'm going to have you create a Mondrian type painting. Mondrian is someone we'll see in many of the lectures, and even though his works look very, very simple, they're quite complex. So what I'm going to have you do is on a piece of drawing paper, create your own Mondrian painting. Do straight lines, both vertical and horizontal, minimum of 15. You'll have kind of like this video here to guide you. You do want to use the colored pencils, shading in 2 directions to fill up these spaces. So do one time east-west, next time shading north-south, just so that they're really nice. Then keep in mind that sometimes you are going to have some blank spaces, but generally not a whole lot. There's an awful lot in this example here, but you'll see in Mondrian's works, there's not really a whole lot. In this case, there's probably 25 spaces, and maybe 5 of them are left blank. Here, maybe 3 or 4 could be left blank. So just keep in mind that most of these forms should be shaded in. I do have one student example here, and that is just absolutely perfect. She really did kind of enhance the lines here. They don't have to be this thick. They can definitely be more along the lines of the example here. Keep in mind that the post needs to be completed by the 23rd, a reply to another student by the 2nd. We have 20 points for the artwork, which generally should take you anywhere from 30 to 60 minutes. So make sure to keep that time set aside. 5 points for a paragraph you're going to write, 5 points for the response to another student. Now, the response is going to be here in a short paragraph. Give your work a title, talk a little bit about the process, and if you were happy or satisfied with the outcome of your art project. So that is there for you. Again, make sure to read through all the directions. And we're going to then go up to module number 4. So at this point, we have covered all the major formal elements: line, color, and then the previous week we did space and the illusion of space. We can have a little bit of fun now. In fact, next week in Module 5, we have a film. We have a documentary, which is really terrific. In Module 4, we also have a very fun lecture, which is on the life and times of Vincent van Gogh. So we have a lecture here, and I want to jump into that real quick. This is the lecture here. I was not able to embed it, unfortunately, because of I don't own this video, although it is me. I did a professional lecture a couple years ago, and they have it posted on their site, but I can't copy it to embed it. If this is ever unavailable to you, please go ahead and use the video down below. And we'll go back to the modules here. We've got our study guide and then quite a decent further exploration section. We have a link to the letters of Vincent van Gogh. We have, if you're a Doctor Who fan, a little episode of Vincent and the Doctor. This is just a part of it. Historically inaccurate program as far as Vincent van Gogh is concerned, but it is kind of a very emotional, very tear-jerking episode. We have a Don McLean song called Vincent, or Starry, Starry Night, which came out in the 70s. And we also have an In Search Of episode about Vincent van Gogh. And In Search Of was a great TV show back in the 70s. Covered a lot of different topics and hosted by Leonard Nimoy. For our second lecture, we have Pattern and Texture, our study guide, and a couple of very quick videos to illustrate a couple of the techniques. One is impasto, which is thickly applied paint. It's actually paint that has actual texture to it, which is really remarkable. And specifically, Vincent van Gogh is noted as really being the first artist to use this type of technique. And then frottage. Frottage is an idea of rubbing on a textured surface, and that brings the elements of the form through. So, 2 very quick videos. Following that, let's go to the journal. And the journal has you going out to take some photos. So we're going to do some photos of line, pattern, and texture. We just had lectures on those recently, so we want a photo that really focuses on line, one on pattern, and one on texture. Obviously, you can't use these elements here, but you also want to write a short paragraph about what I'm looking at and how this encompasses line, okay? So after that, you can take the quiz. The quiz does cover modules 3 and 4, and 20 questions, each worth 1 point, and it is timed at 20 minutes. That is everything. You can always reach me via email Monday through Friday. I have my office hours every single Wednesday from 3 to 7 p.m. And I hope you have a great week. And again, if you have any questions, please reach out.